What's up, my Omi homies and fellow NFT collectors? As you guys may have heard, there's been a lot of crazy accusations being put out about me. So it's time that I set the record straight. I don't want to have to do it. As you will see going forward, that there's plenty of times I could have done it in the past. I'm trying to be a nice guy and not start a bunch of drama, but it's obvious people are working together to try to ruin my reputation, so I got to defend myself. So let's talk about where it all started. As you can see, there was a tweet here, a response to Taps Trades, one of his tweets on January 22nd, where some Omi homie said, Taps, please make a video showing how to properly get a drop. I don't know if I'm clicking at the right time or if I'm doing something wrong. 4 losses. I know wins are hard to come by, but geez, lol. Again, this is January 22nd. I just happened to look at my Twitter feed the next day and notice that this guy's asking about drop tips and nobody's answered him yet. And anytime I see somebody asking about drop tips on the feed, I usually respond to it. So I was joking around a little bit with the guy and I said, you're watching the wrong channel for drop tips. I didn't say you're watching the wrong channel or you're watching a bad channel or unsubscribe to that channel. I'm just saying that's not the channel for drop tips. And he says, well, what's the right channel? And he's LOLing, we're joking around, this guy right here. So he goes and watches the video and his response is, great video. I sent it to my 2 coworkers. So I'm just trying to help people out, help people get drops like I've always been doing. But according to Taps Trades and his supporters, that was cyberbullying. So after Taps Trades saw that whole exchange, he got upset about it and he sent me a response. I've said multiple times where I've learned mine from, don't throw shade or be toxic with me. He thinks that I'm throwing shade at him and I'm being toxic, which I thought was lame for him to say. And I'm telling him, it's not shade, it's factual. This is the drop tip channel. So in response to that, he said, I took the high road last time you talked smack. Now saying my channel is the wrong channel. When is that what I said? That was talking directly to me is shade. You really want to go down this road with me? And again, I tell him, it's not shade. It wasn't meant as shade. And then I called him Copycat Taps because he's sitting there attacking me, calling me a bully and stuff over a remark that was not meant to be mean to him in any way or his channel. I'm just trying to help people get drop tips. I joke around a little bit, as you will see going forward, but sometimes people are super sensitive, and to pretend like that was cyberbullying kind of upset me. And when I try to talk to Taps Trades in a direct message about the situation, and I don't mind sharing this direct message because the day prior he shared a direct message between us himself for no really reason, just to show that I had asked him for advice in the past, which is true. And he kept with the thing saying that I'm a toxic person and that all these people are scared of me. And when I'm asking like who are the people that are scared of me, he refers to Wendy Stabalis, saying that I have harassed her, and we're going to get into that for sure. So right after that, this guy Daniel Lee, I'm sure you guys may have seen him. You may have watched his YouTube channel before. So after he sees this happen, he decides that he wants to jump on it, and he brings up this old screenshot from Discord. Now this screenshot is going to be very interesting. Look where it's cut off at, because we're going to see this screenshot many times, and it's going to show that they're working together, passing these screenshots back and forth to each other. So Daniel Lee puts this screenshot out and says that it's about how bad I treat community members. Now, of course, this has been out before, as we're going to go through and show you guys. But like last time, I put out the actual screenshot of what really happened that day. And you can see that it's edited right here because whenever they first put this message out there, they accidentally left the S out and spelled it Fat and Furious. I thought that was funny, so I made a joke about it. I know a couple girls like that. I didn't say which girls. I didn't actually know any girls who are overweight and angry. I'm just making a wordplay joke, and you can see everybody loves Brock McBlockchain. He's making wordplay jokes about it as well. Come on, this is ridiculous. And this is what several people now have accused me of, attacking people personally in the community using that screenshot. And as this is happening, several people in the community are chiming in with their opinions, and some of them are on Taps Trade side, which to me is silly because there's nothing here to even be upset about or to pretend like is bullying. So I blocked every person who tried to say that I was the one that was in the wrong here. And Kavel Anderson posted something about how I was the one that was spreading a bunch of hate in the community. I tried to go find it, but apparently he's deleted all these tweets. Alright, so when I saw Kavel jump in, I thought that was crazy because he and I have always been very supportive of each other, and he's always shouted me out on his channel like millions of times, and he was even supposed to be on my live stream on Monday. So I sent him a message saying, I'm not going to keep replying, this is getting owed, and I'm taking the day off from streaming tomorrow, thanks anyway. Seemed like he understood and said, yes sir. So like I had been doing, I kept blocking everybody who seemed to think that I was in the wrong here, and that included Kavel. So right after that, Kavel Anderson posted a tweet that he has since deleted saying that I blocked him and that I was very disrespectful to his girlfriend. And then he put out a video that also started off talking about how upset he is because I was super disrespectful to his girlfriend. So let's take a look and see if I was disrespectful to his girlfriend. All right, so to start off, as some people may know, Kavel Anderson has a website where he sells VeVe and Ecomi related merch. And as a guy who's shouted each other out, like I usually do with a lot of people, if you want to go through and see all the NFTs I've purchased from people in the community on OpenSea, I purchased one of his t-shirts just to be supportive, and I even shouted out his website. So because I knew that he made t-shirts and I had some of my subscribers asking me if I was ever going to do t-shirts, I sent a message to Kavel Anderson asking if he knew anything about it, if he wanted to help me make t-shirts. And he referred me to his girlfriend. So I sent an instant message to his girlfriend about getting shirts made. And we can go through the instant message. I've posted it before on my Twitter. But I mean, I think what's probably going to matter most is the end of the message. Like, was there any disrespect here? You could tell that through the whole entire message that I liked her designs. I always liked her designs. She was asking about the shirt that I purchased. I'm actually wearing it right now. And I mentioned to her that I thought the wording was a little low. And then we went back into talking about the designs, and she did a great job on the designs. And she says up there it's going to be $30 per design, which is fine with me. And I was planning on selling these shirts on her website on cavelanderson.com. And I had purchased this shirt from cavelanderson.com, and it was 30 bucks. So I kind of assumed that the pricing would be around 30 bucks. I didn't actually ask what the pricing was going to be. I was more concerned on the pricing of the designs because they were 30 bucks each themselves. That's 120 bucks for 4 designs. So of course, like you can see, I liked the designs. I was very happy with them. And whenever it was time to pay, I paid her 120 bucks through PayPal. And then I asked about how much they were going to cost on the website. And eventually we'll get to where she says that it's going to cost $50 or $60 to sell these t-shirts on cavelanderson.com. And then I would get $5 of that $50. I mean, obviously that's ridiculous. I'm not going to ask anybody to pay $50 for a t-shirt. Now, I guess I could have been nice and let them list it on there anyway. And even though nobody's going to pay $50 for a t-shirt, the problem is there's maybe subscribers out there who want that t-shirt and actually pay 50 bucks, and then Kavel gets like 20 or 30 of that, and just because he's raising the price to make me look bad, like I'm overcharging people, it's pretty ridiculous. But this is the complete end of the conversation, since I was unable to use those on the website and charge people $50 or $60 per shirt. Then I asked if I could have the designs that I'd already paid $120 total for, 30 per, and she sent them over to my email address, and I said thanks. Do you see any disrespect here? Because this is what Kavel Anderson is basing his entire disgust for me is over my disrespect. But we're going to get into all the accusations as well, but motivation should matter too. I mean, Kavel Anderson has always been shouting me out. I've always shouted him out. We've always been great until the second I passed him in subscribers. I mean, he says that he's not jealous of subscribers, but there has to be some type of motivation here. I did not disrespect his girlfriend in any way. And not only that, because we're talking about who's the good person and who's the bad person here, after what that happened with the t-shirts, Kavel Anderson tried to get me to pay him twice as much money for designs that he knew I couldn't use. Look, he's saying that, okay, there were 60 per design since you're not using them on our platform. Now you got to give me another extra $30, another $120. I was like, yeah, right, that is not happening. This dude is trying to scam me out of as much money as possible. And we've always been cool since then. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. And did I call him out for that and go on Twitter and be like, this dude's a scammer? I didn't say anything about that. Come on. So over the next 24 hours, Kavel Anderson and other people put out tweets and videos saying that I terrorize women in the community, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what it is they're talking about. We're going to look at the screenshots, which are hilarious. But you can see here, even in our DMs, Caps Trades is still saying a female in our community posted thanking a few people for saying something about your actions. Didn't expect her to, that since told me she was afraid of saying anything. They're talking about Wendy here because Wendy posted something about this, saying that she was afraid of me and that I mean, we're going to look into our history. Like, I've never done anything to Wendy in any way. I'm actually super nice to Wendy. And the one thing that they point out, my Spanish girlfriend one time in the Discord, and you can go back and look at the Discord, we're all making jokes about what we're watching on YouTube, and she was on YouTube at the time live. So there's no way that she was in the room when I said that. I didn't expect people to take offense to it and screenshot it, but the point here is that it wasn't directed at her. I mean, I was just making a joke like everybody else. People people in the chat, go look at it. They're saying, oh, she's cute, blah, blah, blah. I just said, oh, my Spanish girlfriend, we're just joking around. And to act like she was scared of me because of that one comment, let's go look at some of the DMs from me and her in the past. Wendy was known as one of the main escrows in the VeVe Facebook groups, and one day she asked me if she could be on my channel because there was some controversy going on. You can go back and look at the interview because we talk about it. It was so long ago, I don't even remember what that controversy was. But from there, she joined Discord because we did the interview through Discord, and that was her first time on Discord. And when she joined my Discord server, I noticed on her name that she had the thing that showed that she was using BlueStacks. So I tried to tell her that you might want to get rid of that because you're not allowed to use BlueStacks, and people get upset over that because it's an emulator. It's a way to cheat on VeVe. And she has always said, and we're going to show several times here where she says that she was only using that to transfer gems. And I've had this screenshot right here. You can see I'm in this screenshot. And going forward, you're going to see all the times she attacked me unprovoked. And I never put this out there. And even whenever she claimed that I was the one that was spreading that screenshot of her using BlueStacks that she always said was for gem transfers, she always blamed it on me, and I could have always put the screenshot out there. But I didn't want to attack her. I mean, this right here proves that she was using it to get the drops and that she was lying the entire time. I didn't want to call the girl out. But from there, we were always very friendly. I was always nice to her. She would come to me with questions and needing help. Every once in a while, I'd come to her for escrow. I usually refer people to her for escrow. And you can see in this one, she's like sending hearts to me. I'm not even replying. Like, I'm supposed to be the creeper here. I mean, you go back and look at the messages that she flirted with me. I never said anything to flirt with her. It's ridiculous. So that was back in July. And then in September, I'm in a VeVe Twitter group with several people, and somebody asked something about who can I use for escrow to do an off-app transaction, and I said, use Wendy, that's who everybody uses. And then somebody in that group said, what's your email? I want to tell you something. So I said, okay, sure. I sent them the email, and she sent me this message. It says, hi, I don't want to write on the other social media because things can't be erased. I'm putting myself out there sharing this info with you, and I'm hoping that you keep it to yourself. I don't like to have drama and avoid things. You're vouching for a certain female that's very shady. Just remember, or just be careful. Remember, you asked me if the females were talking about you because I heard that all these females were, for some reason, mad at me about something, as you're going to see going forward. She was the one that wanted them to go on your page. Don't make this a big thing. Just be aware of who you're dealing with. There's lots more shady stuff about here. Not going to bother you with the details. Well, some people did bother me with the details. We'll get to that. And I responded like, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Like, she sent me this. She didn't even say Wendy's name, so I don't remember vouching for anybody except Wendy. And he's like, people say she works with you on Terra Virtua. We were both ambassadors on Terra Virtua. I think she still is. And she responded, oh, I meant she wanted all the women to go and write stuff on your Twitter. That's what I meant by page. So this is on September 12th. This person, who's very well known in the community, by the way, told me that Wendy and her friends were planning to go write stuff to attack me on Twitter, and for no reason at all. Also, I mean, there's no provocation whatsoever. I mean, we were talking about motivation earlier. I have no idea what the motivation is here. I've never said anything. This is, again, in September. I probably hadn't talked to her in a month since then. So, and then a couple weeks later, on September 31st, Claire Russell Griffiths, one of Wendy's close friends, makes this tweet saying, I'm taking out time to reflect and recharge my batteries. I know I should ignore the hate. Yes, I'm fat and currently losing weight by walking, but why pick on someone's looks to prove a point? Why pick on someone's looks to prove a point? You can't see that she deleted this tweet, but the screenshots that she used for this tweet is the exact same screenshot that Daniel Lee later used just the other day, saying that I'm calling people fat. And of course, we just saw the actual screenshot of where this comes from, where I'm talking about a typo that somebody made. So Claire Griffiths puts this screenshot out and tweets a couple weeks after I got that email, implying that I was calling her fat. Now, you have to go back, and it's not very hard to look at Claire Griffiths. Look her up in Discord. She wasn't even in Discord at this time. She wasn't even in Discord till weeks later. To pretend like this was directed at her in any way is ridiculous. And I was actually talking to Wendy in DMs a few weeks ago, asking her about the whole situation, why she's tripping and everything, and she's sitting there saying, I just still can't believe the stuff you said to Claire, like this had anything to do with Claire at all. It's ridiculous. And as you're going to see as a theme here going forward, a couple months later, even after she did all this, she asked me for some help, and I helped her out. And she's saying that she was scared of me, but she used a heart reaction, like Everybody knows that if it's somebody that you're scared of is sexually harassing you, you're not going to react with a heart emoji. You could do a thumbs up, you could say thanks. It's all cap. So when all this started happening and people noticed that Wendy was joining in and trying to act like I had sexually harassed her, I got a lot of emails from females in the community, and I'm not allowed to say their names. I really would like to because a lot of them are really well known, but they're all showing me all these scams that Wendy has been involved in. And this one is with Omi-Wan Kenobi, who is very well known in the community. He doesn't mind his name being put out there because he's been telling people that she's a scammer. He sent her a bunch of money, and then because she was crying and saying that she only had pesos and couldn't afford anything, and then after she sent him a bunch of money, she like went around talking bad about him apparently and saying that she didn't know him and saying a bunch of bad stuff about him after this guy sent her something out of pity. And apparently this has happened many times. This one right here is a guy named Staff ID who sent her over a Todd McFarlane because she was crying that she couldn't even afford a bed. And apparently right afterwards she went into a big group chat with 90 women and told them how she had just purchased that Todd McFarlane herself. And like, I don't even know if that's that egregious. I'll let you people decide. And please tell me if I'm doing anything here that you think is wrong or offensive. Put it in the comments below. But I mean, apparently, Wendy has this scam that she uses that some people wanted me to bring to people's attention. So I'm going to go through it and show you how she apparently uses these Apple Play cards. And each credit card goes for $25 to $30 BTC UCD on the website, and that this is how it works. The two bins, and I'm not sure what they mean by bins here, is a kind of a workaround. It's store credit that hasn't been applied yet in the form of Visa. It's hard to explain, but you aren't actually using someone's credit. The banks end up refilling the store credit account because of insurance. That's why the limits are so high. Win-win. I mean, she's pretty much admitting that she's deceiving people and that she's using this now. Released all these PMs was Wendy herself. They said that she was trying to come clean about it and she just told certain people so that she wouldn't have to defend it in the future or something. I'm not exactly sure, but you can see here she's saying, although most of my escrows are for gyms from now on, I won't do escrow for any of those forms. Yes, I will lose most of my escrows. And they're saying that's sad. That makes our hard work seem meaningless. Getting gyms, company reimbursing, and then they sell 60 cents to a dollar. I mean, what she's doing is not only scammy, it's kind of like money laundering, and she admits fully to this, what she's using to get gyms for these escrow deals. And all of this information was sent to me by different people in the community. I never asked anybody to send me any information on Wendy, but as soon as they saw that she was attacking me, this is what they said. They say, because we appreciate you, Chris, we're going to help. It's not even one person, it's several people. And you can see here what they're saying, that she takes advantage of people claiming that she's poor, which we've shown with some of these screenshots. And they say that she lies about drinking, which really wouldn't bother me a bit. But she also admits to using emulators. And as you saw in the past, she keeps saying that they were just for gym transfers. But I had that screenshot, I showed you the screenshot where she admits that she used it to go for the drops. And I put this out on social media because it was sent to me, and of course Wendy is obviously attacking me for no reason again, so I'm going to fight back a little bit since they're sending me this, saying that this is a racist remark. And apparently, according to Sparky, it's an inside joke. So I don't know if it really is or not. I'll let you guys decide. But if there wasn't other precedent for it, I wouldn't have said it at all. It's not like this is the first time she's been accused of being racist. So apparently back in October, Ray Fixie said something that Wendy replied to with a really racist remark that people keep referring to, but she deleted the tweet and I can't find it. And I'm not going to message Ray Fixie and ask her what she said because I don't want to involve other people with it. But you can just tell by her reply here the type of person she is. Honestly, this is like the worst reply you could possibly make in this situation. Now I want to get into some of the screenshots that are being presented about me. I mean, this was kind of a mean thing to say here, but that was on the day where they all attacked me. And it wasn't just Wendy and Claire, it was several people attacking me at the same time, saying that I'm making all these fat jokes and these sexist jokes. And at one point I said, fine, I will make fat jokes all day, get a sense of humor, or block me. I don't see anything wrong with saying that to her, so she would leave me alone. Like one of the screenshots is referring to the whole my Spanish girlfriend thing. I'm referring to it because I think it's hilarious that they act like that was such a sexist and horrible thing to say, especially since she wasn't even in the room at the time. Okay, so here are all the screenshots since March that make them believe 100% that I'm like a creeper and that a sexual assailant. I don't know. But the first one here is from my buddy Cryptomaniac, and I'm saying that he implied I was a creeper. He didn't really imply I was a creeper. This was like an inside joke. We're just messing around. There's no context here at all. I don't even remember what that was about. So it's ridiculous to use my own words of me calling myself a creeper as a joke to say that I'm a creeper. The next one is, I said, because girls with hot voices are always ugly. They were asking, yeah, why is there no voice chat in here? It's obviously a joke and it's not offending anybody and it's certainly not directed at anybody. The next one is talking about animated collectibles. I said, if there are ever give Dragon Girl animations, I'm buying all of them and not even for the investment. That's hilarious. I mean, if you think that's offensive, unfollow me, unsubscribe. I'm joking around here. The next one is talking about how like poor Howard here saying Logano has some Asia foul thing happening. I mean, that's more offensive than what I say. If liking Asian girls is a bad thing, then I should be in prison. An obvious joke. Kavel Anderson comes on here and says, see, he even admits he should be in prison. Like, what are we doing here, folks? Okay, so the last one, okay, that one was kind of messed up. So I went into the Discord to see why I said that to her. So let's check it out. So I was able to acquire some of the screenshots from the VeVe official Discord of that day. And it was this girl who had just coming into VeVe for the very first time. She's saying right here, follow for follow. I literally have 0 friends. She's just asking for some help. It's her first time here. And here's the responses she's getting from the community. I had just came into the room and I'm noticing that these are the type of responses she's getting, that you can't do that for followers anyway. You can't do that in here. Slow your ass down. Unfollowed. I'm like, come on, y'all are being ridiculous. And her response is, my bad. Bye. She's about to leave. So I say, cute girls can do whatever they want. You think I'm trying to get her attention so she doesn't leave. I'm trying to help the situation when everybody else is attacking her for no reason and they use it against me. So yeah, that's fine if you want to say that I use some mean language sometimes and that I'm not always nice to people, that's fine. But don't pretend like I attack girls or attack people personally. That's ridiculous. Not in any way, shape, or form. Now we can go through all of these screenshots, and these are me talking about how VeVe doesn't ever promote me. Now, after a while, they did finally promote one of my videos, and then one day they came into my live stream, and after they came into my live stream, they were very nice. They stayed there the whole time. They were chatting. I never said a word about it again. But back then, yes, they would promote everybody except for me. And now, the reason why I'm always upset about it, I'm going to tell you guys, is a reason that I've never said before. I've never said this in any way or shape before. But the reason that I was offended that VeVe would never promote me and would always give everybody else all their props all the time about all the great stuff they're doing, because the truth is, I think my content is better. I think I was making better videos with better content. It was more valuable to the community. I was putting more work into it, not only the editing, but the research into it. And everybody ignored me, and they never, like you can see, Kavel says nobody liked you, nobody ever invited you to their streams or anything. I don't know why, but I have no problem saying that I felt like my content was the best at the time. That's why sometimes I got upset when they're sitting there telling everybody else, oh, we're so happy to have you in the family, and I just did the biggest giveaway ever, 77 NFTs for Big O Giveaway 3 in the history of the platform, and nobody ever mentioned it. So excuse me for getting a little bit triggered at VeVe and Ecomi in the past. Alright, so let's get into more of some of this petty stuff where we're talking about stealing content from each other. And Kavel in his recent video says that I steal content from everybody. So let's talk about stealing content for a minute, folks. So back on April 26th, I put out a video talking about this new NFT designer, Trevor, that we all know now, and how he was coming to the platform. And what I did in my video is I went to his profile and I went in and looked to see who he was following, and I went through each one of who he was following and researched each one and talked about how they could be coming to VeVe or how Trevor might be associated with them. And of course I linked to the Spider-Man Miles Morales page, the 1518 Studios, which was kind of like the big discovery here, and all of his followers. And this was a video I put out back in April 26th. And then a week later, the Gail and Cal Wilson both put out pretty much the exact same video.
So I decided to take a look at who he's following on Twitter, which seems to be very telling these days.
So I did mention something in the Discord that I felt like they stole that content from me. Like, I wasn't like super mad about it, but I was like, you should at least put my name in there or mention that you got that idea from me. And they both completely denied that they did not steal that content from me. And a lot of people got mad at me for claiming that they stole the content from me. Please go look at the videos and tell me that they didn't watch my video first and do the exact same thing. Maybe they didn't, but how is it that both of them did the exact same video on the same day that I did a week ago? So that was the first time I called somebody out for what I thought was stealing my content. And you can see here, this screenshot where I'm talking about Michael Keane, VeVe Flipper, and NFT Pirates. And of course, I definitely want to preface this with saying that VeVe Flipper and NFT Pirates, I've way gotten over that whole argument we had, and I'm very cool with those guys. I think they're both awesome. I had Chad from NFT Pirates on my channel just the other day. But let's look at what that was about, and you guys can tell me, am I the one that overreacted? Maybe I am. Maybe it was too petty. Let's take a look. Alright, so before we had the big Givenchy drop, there was a lot of people who didn't think it was a great brand or whatever, and as you probably know, the Amelia and the Cleopatra are the ultra rares, and the Pride Givenchy is the rare. And I told people that they should
And I
buy
don't want
the
you to take
Pride.
this as financial advice, but I'm definitely going for the rare. When you look at the description, you see here, this work is commissioned by Givenchy Beauty.
Alright, so I told everybody before that drop that they should buy the Pride because it is commissioned by Givenchy. And honestly, this is so long ago, I can't even find the videos anymore, but VeVe Flipper said that you should also buy the Pride instead of the ultra rares, but he said because it had the VeVe logo on the back. And I gave him plenty of credit for that. Like I said, it was me and VeVe Flipper who told everybody to buy the Prides. But then after that, VeVe Flipper and NFT Pirates kept going around saying, "Congratulations, Flipper, you're the only YouTuber who told everybody before the drop to buy the Pride because it was commissioned." And several times videos after that, they keep saying, "I told you guys it was commissioned." But in reality, I was the only one who said it was commissioned until after the drop, and I was a little bit annoyed about it. It's a little bit petty, but I also completely dropped it, and I'm cool with those guys now. And like VeVe Flipper had put out a video about bad eggs, and at the very end, he's like, "These are all the good eggs," and listed every YouTuber except for me. So I took a little offense to that. And now we laugh about it probably because it is what it is. It was just a little squabble. I felt like I was in the right here because they were kind of trying to take credit for what I pointed out and nobody else did. Alright, so a lot of people jumped down my throat and got really mad at me for pointing out that what I thought was kind of content stealing in that situation there as well. So after that I was like, geez, okay, I guess I'm not allowed to say when people steal my ideas or my videos or anything like that. So I no longer said that anymore. And then a few weeks later or whatever, we got the gal here. He's putting out a video talking about how he's trying to go for these rebounds, okay? And he's going back and forth trying to hit that buy now button on the rebound. So the nice guy I am, I send him over a message and say, "Great video as always, Bromy. When you're going back and forth, if you have your text shrunk on phone and don't have to scroll down a little to see where the buy now button is, you can start spamming the button each time as the page loads. So when you're going back and forth, you can actually wait for that button to pop up, as I've mentioned it once or twice in videos before." So the girl says, "Thanks, bro." And then a couple weeks later, he comes out with his new tip. It's called Gailgate. Guess what, y'all? It's going back and forth and spamming in that little space as you wait for the buy now to appear. But I'm not going to say anything about anybody stealing my ideas anymore. So whenever the gal comes into my live streams, what do I say? I say, "What's up, it's the gal. Go check out his video about Gailgate, how to get rebounds," even though he clearly stole the idea from me. I'm cool with the gal. I'm not going to say nothing to him about it because I'm tired of getting everybody mad at me for telling the truth. So honestly, I think that pretty much accounts for every accusation made at me. There's this one here where got really mean with this guy, and I went and looked it up, and the dude's talking about my kid. They cut off what I'm replying to right here on purpose. The dude was talking about my kid. Yeah, okay, you can trigger me if you talk about my kid. You got me. And yeah, I might say a girl is cute once in a while. I'm sorry if you really think that is toxic or that I am terrorizing members of the community, which is the claim being made, then please let me know in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. This is my side of the story. That's the best I can do. Let me know.